Hello, welcome back to ForeUK's channel. ForeUK is an MCS Certified, TrustMark Registered and RECC Member installer based in Reading Bracknell, and we've been operating since 2021. I myself have worked on installations ranging from 10 panels to 1300 panel commercial installations. In this video, I'll be walking you through our full process, from the very first discovery call to the day your system goes live and beyond. Let's get into it. The first step is our discovery call. That's where everything starts, so we'll get a clear picture of your property and how you use your energy day to day. We'll pull up your home on Google Earth or satellite imagery to check the best roof faces for solar and spot any shading from trees, chimneys, or nearby buildings that could have a detrimental effect on your generation. We'll also talk about your annual usage, your current supplier, whether you've got air conditioning, underfloor heating, or EVs, and any future plans like extensions or heat pumps. We need to make sure that we capture every bit of information to do with your usage. The goal here is to make sure that we design the system around your lifestyle and not just give you a cookie cutter setup. Once we've got that info, we move into the design stage. Now, the design stage is where the system starts coming to life. So I personally build your property in a 3D solar design software, so we can model exactly how the panels fit and how shading affects the generation. It lets us test different layouts and roof combinations to make sure we're maximizing performance. Because in almost every case, more panels means better long-term returns. We then size the battery properly, usually based on winter usage, because that's when you rely more on the stored energy, and more specifically battery arbitrage, charging on the cheap overnight rate and then discharging during the day instead of importing the expensive energy. So we take your annual usage, break it down to daily, and skew it towards the darker months to get a realistic idea of what battery size we need to do. We can either look to cover a part percentage of it, aim to cover the full amount. Obviously, we still account that the solar is going to be generating some energy, but a smaller proportion compared to the sunnier months. Once we have the design done, we use our custom ROI calculator to build your payback forecast, showing you how quickly your system pays itself off, which typically sits in the 5 to 7 years mark, depending on usage and inflation figures. Everything we do is completely custom and tailored to you and our discussion. No templates, no packages, just a tailored design for your home and usage. You can see here, this is the financial forecast that you would get, which you have every single figure that's going into it laid out clearly for you. Got the amount of panels, your total kilowatt peak, the system cost, annual generation, self-consumption. You can see clearly what import and export prices we've got in there, as well as the inflation rates. A nice feature that we've also added is being able to show you where your payback comes from with the battery arbitrage, which a lot of payback tools can't really factor that in. And as you see, this system sits between the 4 to 6 year payback mark. Even if we drop the inflation down to say 2%, which is very on the low side, you only see that push it up to the 5-year mark in terms of payback. So we're sitting in a very good place, being able to benefit from direct bill displacement, export income, and battery arbitrage. I jump into all of the different ways that solar saves you money in a different video, so definitely check that out in the channel. Once you're happy with the design, we can move into getting the system booked, getting your DNO application started, getting the solar journey going, getting on the solar coaster. We take a small 5% deposit, which secures your install slot and lets us start your DNO application. The DNO application is the approval to connect your system up to the grid. We'll need your MPAN number, which I've put on the screen. It will be available on a past electricity bill. A box marked with an S on the left, it will be the bottom row of numbers. And then we'll also need a picture of your incoming supply, clearly showing the fuse, so we can confirm your setup with the grid. So approval time, it does vary depending on the inverter size. If it's a 3.68 inverter, we don't have to get any approval. But a majority of systems are going to be over that 3.68 purely because of the wattage of panels now. It's really easy to hit that minimal mark. So a 6 kilowatt system, you're looking at taking 1 to 2 weeks on the DNO approval. 8 kilowatt is usually 3 to 4 weeks, and 10 to 12 kilowatt inverters can take 5 to 6 weeks. They can sometimes take longer, all depends on the DNO and exactly whose desk it ends up on. With the larger systems, they'll sometimes apply an export limit, usually between 6 to 8 kilowatts. This might sound restrictive or the end of the world, but in practice, your home's always going to be using some energy, and you've got the battery there to store excess as well. So it's very rare for it to have any real impact. And if it does have an impact, it will usually just be during the peak of summer where your generation is at its absolute highest. We're yet to see a situation where it made sense to bring the system size down to adjust for the export limit. Once your DNO is approved, we'll be able to get your installation date confirmed. Scaffolding usually goes up 1 to 3 days before the install, and most systems up to around the 18 to 20 panel mark are able to be completed in a single day, including the electrical work alongside the panels being installed. Larger or multi-roof installs may take 2 days, but we assess that on a case-by-case basis. During your installation, our electricians connect your inverter, battery and gateway. Before we leave, you'll be fully set up on the monitoring app so you can track your generation, usage and battery storage in real time. Scaffolding is usually removed 2 to 3 days later, and we handle completely everything, from equipment to testing to cleanup. After install, we'll be able to compile your handover pack. This includes your MCS certificate, DNO approval, and warranty documentation. We also raise your export MPAN, which normally takes 1 to 2 weeks. Once you have that, you can register for your smart export guarantee payments with your energy supplier. That's where you're getting paid for any excess energy you send back to the grid. Most people go with their current supplier, but you can also shop around for better rates. Right now, we're seeing around 15 to 17p per kilowatt hour, which usually adds £300 to £400 per year on top of your bill savings. Every ForeUK system comes with a 10-year workmanship warranty. We're here for the long term. For any upgrades, add-ons or support, we don't just install a system and disappear. Whether it is adding more panels, expanding your battery stack or fine-tuning your app for monitoring, we're available whenever you need us. It's about creating a long-term relationship, not just a one-time job. So to recap, here's what happens when you go solar with ForeUK. We do a discovery call. We then create your custom design and financial forecast. From there, once you place your order, we get the DNO approval rolling, which can vary from 1 all the way up to 6, 7 weeks. Then do the installation. Scaffolding goes up 1 or 3 days before. Installation 1 to 2 days. Scaffolding comes down 2 to 3 days after. You then get your handover pack following processing of all of the appropriate paperwork, and you have your long-term support with your 10-year workmanship warranty. If you'd like us to design a solar and battery setup for your home and show you your forecasted payback, just click the link in the description below to book a free discovery call. It's completely free. We'll handle everything from there. And if you want to learn more about solar, batteries or gateways, check out the other videos on our channel, and I'll see you in the next one.